Okay, so I had a friend back in the day, and she met this guy at a bar we were at. And he initially hit on me, and then I told him I was in a relationship. And then, so they ended up like, they didn't hook up that night, but she ended up like hanging out with him and then later started to date him. To me, that is a huge red flag. If you see a man and he's hitting on other women, especially your friends, but any other women, like, is it that he really values you? Like, that, you must have that feeling deep down that you know that this guy is just like, he's like using you, or he doesn't clearly value you. Like, you gotta have that feeling, right? Like, that's an icky feeling. And I always, like, I couldn't say that to my friend, but I was always wondering, like, why are you wasting time with this guy who, like, he wasn't even interested in you in the first place. Like, it's kind of like you're like second, I don't know, like just seconds, right? Like, you want to be first in the relationship. So if you're at a nightclub setting or a restaurant or whatever it is where there's a bunch of people and you see a guy hitting on multiple women and then he comes and hits on you, that is not a guy that you want to take seriously. That guy does not take you seriously. So that is a huge red flag. Stay away from men like that. Okay, another thing is, when you start to date a guy, especially if you are from a different area, like you each live in different towns or something like that, make sure that he is coming to see you. You should not be driving out of your way to go meet this guy. If he genuinely takes interest in you, he will go out of his way to meet you. And if it's like, oh, we can meet in the middle, is that romantic? Is that sending a romantic signal to you? Does that give you a romantic feeling? I think meet in the middle is a thing that starts to take place later on in the relationship when you're more comfortable with each other, and it's not even that it should be meet in the middle. It's just like maybe sometimes like you can initiate meet in the middle. You know what I mean? But in my opinion, a man should be going out of his way to impress a woman. In my opinion, men should be courting women. That's what sparks romance. And it is a huge red flag if you are dating a guy, he's not from the same town or area, and he is wanting you to come to him. Huge red flag. You gotta know it. So don't waste your time with that. I think one of the ways that you can tell a guy is really into you is because he's actually investing in you. And so when I say investing, this can mean time, this can mean money, it can mean so many other things. And this is another thing. You will know. You will know when it is the right guy, because you won't have any doubts. You won't be questioning your sanity at all. You won't be questioning him. You will know. Trust me, you will know. So if you're dating somebody and you're having some sort of feeling where, what are they up to? Like, how come he didn't want to hang out with me this Friday night? What is he doing? That's just not the right guy. Like, if you're having that feeling, that guy is giving you that feeling. He is not valuing you, and he is giving you that feeling. That's a red flag. Your gut. If your gut is sensing something, that is a red flag. But okay, so back to investing in you. In my opinion, a man should, like I said, he should be driving to meet you or going out of his way to take you out or to see you. And it should really, in the beginning, it should be to take you out. Don't let a guy think that you should just come over to his house and hang out, or he should come over to your house and hang out. That's something that should take place later on. And also, if it does take place, it should be briefly, and it should be in between going out. Like, it shouldn't be the main thing that you guys do. And he should be investing in you by taking you for dinner, by taking you to a show. I don't know, he should be taking you out and he should be paying for it. Because, in my opinion, he's just not that into you if he is not willing to part with some money for you. You're an investment. If he values you, he's going to invest in you. We all value our investments. That's why we invest in them, because we can see the payoff for the future. So it's not a loss to put that money out when you really like somebody. It is. Okay, sorry, I got cut off. Okay, so like I was saying, you want to make sure that the person is investing in you. And when I say investing in you, I definitely do not mean that you go around and you look for men to pay for you, or that you expect men to pay for you. It is not that. You should be very grateful and honored that a man wants to take you out and will pay for you. This isn't something that you take advantage of, because I really don't like the feeling or want to get this crossed with women being money hungry or women using men, because sometimes I'll talk to women and I really don't like the way that they approach this subject. It feels really icky, and it feels like they think that men should be like serving them. I don't know how to explain it. It's like they expect it with this, and they have like this bad attitude. And to me, that's not what proper dating is. To me, when you meet somebody that actually genuinely cares about you, it's like a really nice feeling. It's not, you don't give men user vibes. Like, that's not what men are for. Yes, I believe that the men should court you and take you out and fit the bill, but this does not mean that I think that you should be looking for men to do things for you, to be paying for you, to be buying you things. In my opinion, this is something that happens absolutely naturally because the man wants to do it. So that is also why it is such a red flag, because if he is not doing it, he doesn't want to do it, and so it's not something that you can force. You just need to move along, unless you're really interested in somebody. Like, I'm not saying look for men with money. There can be men that, you might be into. Maybe he's like really artsy or like kind of like a hippie guy and he doesn't have a lot of money. If he's upfront about this with you, or that it's obvious, but you're still into this person and maybe you don't care because you have money, well, then that's a different situation. But for the most part, a man should be wanting to fit the bill if he is genuinely into you. Something I do want to bring up, just because I'm like talking about this, is I think it's really tacky how women think that like men should be buying them things, like taking them shopping or something. I think that's really icky and tacky. And in my opinion, if you have that type of attitude, you're never going to meet a proper guy. You're never going to get the man that is going to provide for you or take care of you, because he is going to sense that about you. It's a smell you're giving off. Like, you shouldn't be that way. And if you are like that, that's a red flag for him. That's a whole other video. But like, yes, when I talk about this stuff, I'm not like a, what's the word? Like, I'm not, I don't know. I'm not trying to like teach women to use men or something like that. That's not it. I'm so against that. I don't like that at all. It should be 50-50, but just in the courting stage. And I don't mean 50-50 financially. I mean what you put into the relationship. There's other ways to give into a relationship than money. And there should be a healthy balance in a relationship. But in the beginning, I do believe that the man needs to put more effort in to courting the woman. I just think it is natural, and I think that's how it should be. And that's why it's so important to look out for these red flags. Another red flag is if a man is, aside from his job, if he doesn't really have time for you, red flag. Like, I don't care how busy this guy is. If he has a lot of excuses, but yet you're finding out he's hanging out with his friends, he's just not that into you. Like, I'm sorry. He's not. And stop making excuses for him, because it's true. It's true. And you know it. You know the answer. In my opinion, a guy, even if he's busy, he will find the time. He genuinely will find the time. He will squeeze you in for lunch somewhere. He will take you out for breakfast. He will meet you like for a late dinner. Whatever it is, he will find the time. Another red flag is if you have a feeling, and then also, sorry, just to go off of that, I just want to add to it that if he's spending a lot of time with his friends and not with you, that's a red flag. I mean, it's kind of the same. That's kind of redundant what I just said. But yeah, if you're feeling like, hey, you're always hanging out with your friends, like if you're even having to force a guy to hang out with you, he's just not that into you. Like if you have that feeling like, hey, how come he hasn't made plans? Like how come he hasn't hit me up? You know, the weekend's coming up. Does he want to hang out with me? He's just not that into you. It's the truth. Because when you really like somebody, you want to be with them. It's the truth. And, okay, what was I going to say next? Because now I forget. Even like phone calls or text messaging. If you text him, for instance, and he takes hours to get back to you, he's just not that into you. Like, I'm sorry. And he's actually probably trying to send you a message that he's not that into you, but you're not picking up on it and he doesn't know what to do. And he's trying to be polite, hoping you're going to get the hint, and you're just not getting the hint. So that is a really big red flag. Another thing is, like, say you phone him and he never answers, but like he'll always text you later or something. Like, why can't he answer the phone ever? I don't know. That's a red flag too, because is he around somebody? Does he have a girlfriend? Does he have a wife? What's up with that, right? Huge red flag to look out for is if he wants you to be a booty call. Like, he's done hanging out with his friends for the night and he asks you to come over. No. Huge red flag. That guy just wants to mess around with you. He doesn't want to invest in you. He doesn't see you as wife material. You know, please, like, don't make excuses for this type of behavior. These are red flags to look out for. Whenever I make these videos, I never write a list, so I always feel like I miss so many things. But for now, I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'm also running out of memory space on my phone. But these are some big red flags to... Oh, stop. Okay, hang on. I got one more. If you are with this person for a while and they have no interest or talking about like potentially moving in with you, potentially marrying you, that is a huge red flag. Like, if you've been dating a guy for a year and you guys have never even talked about living together, anything, like you don't talk about your future, red flag. You want to be with somebody where you know where you're headed and they're not wasting your time. I also think that if you're in the appropriate relationship, you should have no problem whatsoever talking about these things, and the other person should feel comfortable. This shouldn't be a taboo topic. This shouldn't be a hidden topic, and you shouldn't have any fear being open about what you are wanting out of the relationship, because like I said, the relationship is an investment and you want to know what's going on with your investment. So yes. Okay. I'll leave it here. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Bye.